You're watching Profile, success stories of ordinary people just like you and me. Thank you for watching. Our next guest is no ordinary person. He has no formal education. He has started his life as a janitor, and today he praises himself as a multimillionaire. He's here to share with us how he has done it and how he plans to do lots more. Please help me welcome Darron Hastick. Darron, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm pretty good, sir.
Happy to have you with us.
Pleasure to be here.
Nice,
I'm happy to be
nice.
here.
I know you have a lot to share with us, and of course I'm taking notes because I feel like this is going to be like a real school for me and for everybody else watching, right? Because we want to know how you do it. But first we're going to start from the beginning, shall we?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Let's go as far back as we can go. What's your background like?
Well, I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. Single mom, didn't have any money. We grew up pretty poor. My washroom was outside. I washed my clothes outside.
Yeah.
So it was pretty all right. Because there wasn't much, my mom worked full time, overtime, extra time. Just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
I didn't make it to school sometimes. I didn't have proper structure growing up and stuff, right? So I remember I used to go to English class and I used to tell the guys, why would I go to English class? I speak English. So I didn't really have much education coming out of Trinidad.
Yeah.
But I was always entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Nice. So I had a few businesses in Trinidad.
Nice.
I used to go around, print tickets, sell barbecue tickets, take the money, buy the chicken, make the barbecue. A peanut business. I used to make peppered peanuts, right?
Nice.
And I go around, sold to bars. It was a pretty good venture, you know.
So you learned business from a young age by just doing it, by trying things.
Yeah.
Gain the experience.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so what happened next?
I came to Canada when I was 21.
Okay. What made you come to Canada?
Well, things weren't good for us in Trinidad. So my mom came to Canada as an aide for elderly people. They needed care aides for elderly people. 6 years later, we got a letter in the mail. You have 2 weeks to get out of Trinidad, or else you have to start the whole process over again.
Okay.
And we packed up and then we came to Canada.
What was your experience like, the transition into Canada?
Yeah, well, fortunately, I didn't really have to fend for myself because my mom, she set things up for us. She had by the time we got here, we already had like a place to live and that type of stuff. And she had already hooked up a job for me, right?
Okay.
So it was janitorial.
Okay.
My brother and I started there. He left to go back to school, right? But I continued doing janitorial. The owner of the company, him and I became good friends. I used to call him my BC dad.
Yeah.
And that kind of comes into play later on in my story.
Yeah.
But he was a good friend of mine. And that's how I started off. Janitorial, $6 an hour. A lot of overtime, a lot of hours, right?
A lot of hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that entrepreneurial spirit was always there.
So when I started at the company, I told my supervisor at the time, like, if I'm here for more than 6 months, fire me. Because I know even from a young age, people get accustomed to where they're working, they stay in it, they don't challenge themselves, that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, I knew I didn't want to be a janitor. It was the easiest thing to do. Yeah, the first thing I got when I came here, and because my boss was a cool guy, I kind of stuck with it for a bit.
What happened after 6 months of being with this company? Did he fire you?
No. I've never been fired, and I don't think I'm not the type of guy to be fired because I do. If my job is A, B, I do A, B, C, D. I always get involved. I want to know more. I want to grow. I've always been like that. So no, I left. to PC. I kind of went down the wrong path. Going out.
You're trying to figure things out.
trying to figure things out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just knew I didn't want to be a janitor. You know, I actually went to United States. I worked as a bartender. I just traveled, just odds and ends. I did promotions. Yep.
Exploring.
Yep, exploring different things.
Uh-huh.
And then one day I got a call. This guy was pretty close to me. His name was Russell, and he told me he had cancer.
Okay.
And he needed help. I stopped what I was doing, and then I came back to help him. And that's pretty much what started my course on financial literacy and that type of stuff, because he was an awesome guy, lots of friends at his house, he was very giving, house, car, all that type of stuff. But when he passed away, he didn't really have much,
Yeah.
And that changed my life.
Yeah. Also.
Well, I decided that I'm not going to die poor, because it puts a strain on people. Like, I had to quit what I was doing. I had to come help him up. I love him. I would do it, no matter what.
Yeah.
But I had no real income. I had no car. I had nothing. I lost everything that I had. And I kind of worked with him, but the medication and going to the hospital all the time, full-time care, it's pretty expensive.
Right.
So I learned from that. I draw from that, and I remember I went into the hospital to spend New Year's with him, right? And then he was sleeping like a baby, and then in the morning I got the call. That day changed my life.
Yeah.
That day. That day changed my life. That day, it was a new year, and then and there I decided, I dropped all my friends, and then I decided I was going to focus on my future,
Yeah. Simply because you want your story to be different.
Simply because, yes, yeah, I knew it was more than just myself. I have to think of other people. You don't think about things during the course of your life, but if you pass away and you have nothing to leave to anybody, or a will, things to take care of yourself, then you become, for lack of a better word, a burden. And I didn't want to be that. It's not nice to see a burden, you know what I mean? But it really what it is. You love your family, you want to take care of them, but they have their own lives to live. So I decided that I was going to be financially stable, free, I was going to do well.
What was the first step? What did you do?
I took over his business because he passed away. I took over his business. But
which business is this?
Janitorial business. He had a janitorial business.
Okay.
It was like a franchise, and I didn't like the environment there.
Okay.
So I decided to open my own company. And one of the reasons and one of the things that I wanted to accomplish was I wanted to help people grow and build, especially janitorial. It's not paid. You don't get a lot of money doing janitorial, right? So I wanted to build a company to help my employees grow and build and be successful in life, even though they're making a small income. So I started my own company, and then I started diving into, I would work janitorial, work at nights. I started using the power of the internet, start learning about financial literacy, start learning about investing in stocks, started learning about real estate, bringing this card, and I go around to people and I'm a real estate investor, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a real estate investor.
A real hustler.
Yeah. And then people would be like, oh really? How many properties do you have? I was like, none. So they would be like, no properties, It was really hard. It taught me a lot. As far as never giving up, starting from somewhere, that type of stuff. So if I got one person to invest with me, I got two people to invest with me. So later on, people ask, how many properties do you have? I'm like 15, 16, it keeps counting.
Yeah.
And then from there, it became easier because it's a track record. People seeing growth. So people Now they began to trust what I'm doing, that type of stuff.
By now you have like a ton of businesses.
Right. So from investing in stocks and investing in real estate, I still did janitorial. But my passion and my love is real estate. Love real estate. I think real estate is the most amazing product out there. Right. However, I'll go and I'll meet people and say, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Janitorial," right? And I didn't get the response that I wanted. You know,
Right.
it didn't give much
Credits.
Yeah, it didn't give much credit for being a janitor, right? So I'll meet all these successful people, but I'm still the janitor, which was fine. And then I'll go with a friend of mine, and he owns a restaurant, and they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "I own a restaurant." And then people will be like, "Wow, where is it? This, that." And he got a lot of engagement, right? So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna open my restaurant." You know? That's how it started. I went to open my restaurant, right? Me and the same gentleman who had the restaurant before, we talk, say, "Man, let's open a restaurant, whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, sure, let's open another restaurant." And we go around and we were talking what's a proven concept and that type of stuff. And then we came up with Taps and Tacos. He actually thought of the name, right? I had purchased a property in this building in Port Moody, and so I knew this really cool location was available. His brother was very knowledgeable in the restaurant space. So I decided to talk to his brother, bring his, and ask his brother if he wanted to be a part of the restaurant, right? They were like, "Okay, it's cool, but, you know, we don't have the money to do it." And I'm like, "I have the money," right? So it's funny because I didn't. I just knew that I could raise it.
Okay.
Right? Anyway, that came to be. We started a business, became successful. We have a food truck, now we have a cart, you know, and yeah, the business keeps going. When I started the janitorial business, the first job I ever got was at Calabash Bistro.
Okay.
I used to clean that. That was my first, when I started my own company, that was the first job that I had.
Okay.
So I used to clean the floors there, and I really love the vibe and the energy I wanted, right? And I wanted to own it. You know, I wanted to be a part of it. You know, I got to meet the owners, obviously, and I thought they were pretty cool. And for years, once I opened Taps and Tacos, for years I'd be like, "I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this." And I guess Taps and Tacos gave me the credibility that I could do something. So they took me a lot more seriously. And then, and then I bought into Calabash, some amazing guys, you know, and very happy about that.
Let's quickly go over some of the challenges, the obstacles that you overcome to be where you are today.
First of all I didn't really understand credit when I came to Canada.
Credit score,
that type of stuff. I racked up my credit cards, put myself deep in debt. I remember I used to open the mailbox. When I first came here, I was like, "Oh, it's so cool, I got a mailbox." Then as time goes by, the bills just keep coming. I learned to hate that mailbox. I learned very quickly to hate it. I had the wrong guidance, you know, like Russell, you know, great guy. He didn't really understand financial literacy, and he didn't have much to offer me in that direction, you know, and I did the wrong things. And he's like, "Don't worry about it. You can file bankruptcy and everything will be fine." And I did. Don't recommend that to anybody. When I started over, it was a pretty tough go. You know, I didn't have any money. I didn't really too much like what I was doing, you know. So it kept me focused. Work at night and try to dress up in the day, go do sales, try to get business, you know. And then, but most of the time I know I was focused. I know I was working on building my credit, you know. Stocks did pretty good for me, you know. I spent a lot of money in education. You know, I did all these courses, you know, real estate courses, stock courses, You know, I didn't even have the money for it. I rack up my credit cards again. Don't do that. Do not do that. Right? I racked up all my credit cards again. As I started doing better in life, I decided that I want to help people.
Yeah.
Because the problem with these courses is not that it's not good. It's the problem you don't get pre-qualified. They're not interested in whether you're able to, you have
This
the
is
foundation.
for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just want your money. You go to the back of the room, you pay for the courses, but you don't have money to invest in real estate. You don't have construction background. You don't have, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more than just the knowledge. It's being able to put the knowledge
To use.
to use. And my goal is, at some point, I may charge people for my time, but I want to make sure that if I charge you $5, you made 10. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I've learned a lot,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there's some people, I realize when you help people for free, they don't really take it. You know, when you pay your money, you really try.
Do you think formal education would make a difference in your life?
For sure, formal education would have helped, you know. I think it's important. English, for example, you know what I mean? It's very important.
Yeah.
You know, I can see the importance of it, is what I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think I was better off that I went on my course, because I don't see limits, and I feel, right or wrong, this is how I feel. You know, formal education, it puts you in a box. You're taught to do something. You know, when that bell rings, it's lunchtime. When that, you know what I mean? You have to be there at this time. You have to do that at that time. You know, and I didn't really have that discipline, right? So I don't keep hours. I don't have an 8-hour day. I just have a day, right? So I fit as much as I can within that day. You know, so I often think about, oh, should I go back to school? Should I do this? Should I do that? But I educate myself in different ways now, you know, in ways that actually can benefit my life and grow and help. Like, I learn more about real estate every day. I learn more about stocks every day, you know, marketing.
How do you balance your life between your many businesses and your personal life?
Personal life?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? No, that's not a joke. Seriously, no. I just work. It's somewhat of a lonely life, but we're all humans, and as we go along, we improve. We try to improve, you know, as best as we can. And I realized through, you know, a lot of comments, you know, I'm always focused on the next business or the next opportunity or the next, you know, and I in the beginning, well, not in the beginning, for a long time I didn't take care of myself, you know. Now I try to find a balance. Now I try to go to the gym. I make that a priority, you know. I try to do more outdoor activities, you know. I try to travel as much as I can. Sometimes a little bit too much, you know, but yeah. So that sense, it brings some type of balance to my life. But my brain is always active. Even if I'm on vacation, I'm working. Even if I'm hiking, I'm working. Even if I'm at the gym, I'm working. Because my brain always thinking, what next? How to improve? How to do this? How to do that? Right. Yeah. So,
what next for you?
Something I also realized on my journey: the more successful I become, is the more lonely I become. So I'm moving away from everybody else that I know, because I can afford to do things that other people can't. And then I wasn't really challenged. So what I started doing, and I didn't even realize this until COVID hit, is I started lowering my goals, not purposely, because to keep, I don't want to distance myself from my peers, if that makes sense. And then when COVID hit, that changed my world. So now I'm like, okay, you know what? I should be more aggressive in helping people come up, you know, my friends and my family and whoever I encounter, so that we can all join this journey, you know?
that passion to help others. So how are you helping people now? Do you have like an organization, a program? How are you doing
Yeah,
this?
so I found some amazing people in Vancouver. We started this group called Bob, you know.
What does it stand for?
Bob originally started for billion or bust,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then soon we started a membership, and one of the members said that bust is more of a negative thing, so let's be positive, and we agreed. So we said billion
Or beyond.
or beyond. So that's what it
Nice.
stands for now.
Tell us about Bob.
So Bob was designed to be a lifestyle company, right? And it was supposed to help make financial literacy, learn about stocks, learn about real estate fun. So the whole idea of it was to bring a community together and make it a fun environment, but a learning environment, or just the same. So that's what we've been working on. And for me myself, I devote as much as my time to anybody for any questions they need, any help they might encounter.
From your journey in life, what are some of the nuggets you have picked up along the way?
5 mentors, you know, and a lot of people has been down the path already, you know, and just I take a little bit from everybody and make it my own, you know.
What about your mindset? Do you think that plays a big role in where you are today?
Absolutely. And one of my struggles is how do I get people to change their mindset? I haven't figured that part out yet, but I'm working on it, Ravi. So I just, you know, someone has to want to change, and someone has to believe, or else they can't. If you believe you can't do something, you're probably right.
When I listen to you, I don't hear so much theory or principles. I hear passion. Passion is the driving force, and mindset.
Yeah.
The mindset to say, you know what, I can do it. You said something earlier that they wanted to start a restaurant, no money, and they said, I have the money. But at the end of the day, you didn't have it.
No.
But the mindset that says, listen, money is not going to stop us from having this business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I built a huge real estate portfolio. If I thought about if I had the money, it would have never happened. Never. And that's one of the first things people always tell me. Oh, I have no money. I have no money. And I try to teach people, you know, just look, focus. The universe will give you what you go out and get, what you ask for, what you bring, you know?
There's a difference between having a business and probably say doing real estate or investing, right? Would you suggest to people like, you know what, have your own business, you know, follow the steps that I took in life? Yeah.
A lot of times people start a business, but it's really a job, right? It really turns into a job, but a worse job, because now it's no time off, notice you're always there.
It stresses the hell out of you.
So a lot of people think that starting a business means you work in it every day, you build it up and whatever, right? Like I've purchased companies that's been 30 years in business and haven't even done half the sales that I do, right? But why is that though? Because someone got in their head, they're going to start a business, but it really turned into a job for 30 years of their life. I said, I'm just saying no, I'm just saying be very careful of going into the business. I see a lot of people run themselves into debt, you know. I mean, a job is probably the best thing to do, starting off, and then do a business on the side. And when your business starts to grow, then you can scale, you know. So yeah, but you know, I don't want to fool anybody and think it's like a grand idea to go start a business and that type of stuff. It is difficult. It is difficult, and it's risky.
It is.
And
It is.
if it's your passion, it's worth the risk.
Awesome.
You know, if it's just because you want to make money, chances are it's gonna, you know, there's gonna be a problem. You know, I'm not saying you can't be successful, but having passion for something and having a dream and a focus, it helps a lot. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
just keep trying, keep challenging yourself. You feel better. You know, you feel better when you accomplish anything. You know, so keep growing, keep growing. Yeah.
I know you are someone who is always helping, giving back. You talk about it with a lot of passion here. Now, can anyone reach you if they want, for any reason, whether to do business with you?
Yeah.
It seems like you have the know-how, or if they just want to learn from you.
Yeah.
How can they reach you?
I try to push everybody towards my Instagram now. So at Darron Hastick. Just DM me. I'm very easy to get in touch with, and you know, I share my contact information and everything. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for your sharing your wisdom and your experience with us. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone watching learned something here today. And thanks a million.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Hope to have you back.
And I
on
love
the
your show.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. And I hope you are enjoying it as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye for now.
Bye-bye.